enjoy my favorite seat. Excuse me, do you mind?
Jump scare! Okay, so what you just saw there was not my usual intro. However, that's because I want to work on a new intro, but I kind of don't feel like doing it right now, so that's a funny one-off intro for you. And yes, this is my first video with my new model. Hello. I'll be showing off this model in full and a future date, but right now this is all you get. Okay, so we are here to talk about Overwatch 2. It's been a very interesting thing to look at, considering how crazy the launch has been. So before we start talking about the game itself, let's just quickly go over the launch, because the launch has been a very noteworthy event. Probably comparable to things like Cyberpunk 2077 or Battlefield 2042 in terms of the launch was that bad. So just for a quick context, when the game launched, you had to enlist a phone number to your account, which by the way, you still have to do, and what's even worse is that my phone broke down just a few days before Overwatch launch, and so I had to get a new phone, meaning that I had to spend the conversion, about $300 on a new phone, and that's on the cheap end of phones. And what's even worse is that you could spend money on your phone, yeah, and you might still not be able to play Overwatch 2, because Overwatch 2, or to say Blizzard, only accepts post-paid phone plans. So if you have like pay-as-you-go or voice over IP, you can't play Overwatch 2, which is maniacal, truly insane. So outside of that issue, there was then the issue of you couldn't actually play the game. You could not play Overwatch 2 on its launch day and about 2 days afterwards. Apparently, according to Blizzard, there was a mass DDoS attack. And I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that for 5 seconds. I do believe that the servers were genuinely overloaded with the player counts. And as some evidence for that, I played Overwatch Beta 1 and Beta 2, and yeah, there were some server issues over there as well, so I think it was just a case of Blizzard's servers are just terrible. So, with that opening sequence aside, let's now get talking about Overwatch 2. So, what is new? What's different? Well, first of all, the game seems to have had some technical upgrades. The first thing I noticed was it seems like the game now uses a new rendering engine. Like, I'm gonna add some stuff here just to show it off, but it definitely does seem like the graphical engine / rendering engine was radically changed for Overwatch 2, and because of that, the game does look better. It definitely looks better on the visuals. And then in terms of the audio engine, they went and overhauled pretty much most of the sounds you can think of in the game, including voices, including weapons. Like, the weapons, they sound pretty good now. They sound pretty solid. And it's kind of surprising, because obviously, it's one of those games that doesn't really pay too much attention to detail on, you know, things like weapons, but I think they sound good. It's an improvement. It's an improvement for sure. Okay, so outside of presentation, which I think has definitely upgraded, the HUD seems better, sounds seem better, the graphics are good as well. Performance, it seems to be fine. Like, just as a disclaimer, I use a Intel i7 A700 and a GTX 1070, and I can run the game on mixed, high and ultra just fine. So that's good news. So, what about the gameplay then? What's changed there? Well, it's a bit of a bummer. So, tanks definitely got the longest end of the stick here. They got pretty sweeping changes, mostly buffs, because it's now 5v5, meaning that you only have one tank per team, which is very strange. But each tank is stronger in general, which is a huge bonus. And then in terms of damage, they got some changes as well, mostly removing stuns and crowd control of them, as well as some miscellaneous changes and stuff. Basically, tanks, damage, and support players now have passives that change how they play and stuff. It's very interesting. Take note that I main tank, and all the footage you'll see here will be footage of me playing as Reinhardt, and there's also a little bit of Orisa put in here as well. In terms of gameplay changes, I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest. Because the tank changes are good. Like, seriously. The tank changes are amazing. And they definitely allow you to play not only a wider variety of tanks, but they just feel just better. Because you can actually get yourself into fights and actually start killing things. Although, there are some outliers to this, which we'll get to down the line. Damage seems basically the same as it was in Overwatch 1, minus some changes here and there. So if you're familiar with playing damage, you'll be fine. And in terms of support, I'm not sure how I feel about them. Like, the passive healing that they all get now is a big bonus, but a certain new hero has kind of broken the balance of support entirely. Again, more on that later. But in terms of like how I feel about overall changes, they seem to be in the right direction. However, there are a few outliers right now that are huge issues, and now we will get straight to that. So in terms of the ones that I think are like genuinely a big issue right now, I think it has to go to Orisa and Kiriko. So, what's wrong with Orisa? Well, Orisa is very durable, more durable than Reinhardt and D.Va, really speaking. She has pretty good sustained DPS. Her Javelin is a fucking long range stun, CC, just crazy stuff. Her Javelin spin gives her movement and also acts like a defense matrix. Orisa can basically do everything you could really want in a tank, except for her ultimate. Like, her ultimate sucks. And even then, you'll see here, versus clip, and yeah, Orisa just kills like 4 of us in just one ultimate. It's like, oh my god. So, yeah. I think Orisa is too strong right now. And she could probably use some cutting back. And then, of course, Kiriko. Where do I start with Kiriko? So, Kiriko, the only thing that she has for her that's not good is her healing. Her healing cards are very slow in terms of the travel time, and they don't tend to give off too much healing either. Outside of that, she's absolutely broken in every single aspect you could think of. She's got the best escape tool of all support classes. She's got the best ranged damage of all support classes. She's got the best ultimate of all support classes. And she has the best alternate ability of all support classes. So let's just quickly go over that, because I want to just fully elaborate on this. So her kunai throw allows her to throw fast moving projectiles that deal 120 damage on headshots. And that has no fall off, so she can just dink you for 120 at any range, which is absolutely ridiculous. That's way too strong for a support character. And then her ultimate, Kitsune Rush, basically places like this corridor, and anyone in this corridor moves, I think it was like 50% faster, they attack 50% faster, and all of their cooldowns recharge 3 times quicker. So you just become a walking melt machine. And it becomes very apparent on characters like Roadhog, Bastion, Junker Queen, Reaper. Like, any kind of hero that has high DPS, like, Kitsune Rush just breaks them so damn hard, it's unbelievable. Like, honestly, think about it. Nano Boost and Kitsune Rush and Roadhog with Whole Hog, I do not want to think about it. I genuinely do not want to think about it. But anyway. And then of course she has Protection Suzu, which is just ridiculous. So Protection Suzu grants teammates 1 second of damage immunity, as well as complete immunity to debuffs and stuns and crowd control. Meaning that Kiriko can disrupt my goddamn Earth Shatters. And yes, as a Reinhardt, my Earth Shatter is a pretty serious ultimate. But it does not grant Kiriko the right to completely just deny my Shatter by using a area of effect goddamn immunity buff. Like, goddamn, what the hell were you thinking, Blizzard? As a matter of fact, I know what they were thinking. Alright, pay attention, yeah? So here's what I think went through Blizzard's brain. As a matter of fact, I don't think this was even a choice of Blizzard. Chances are, it was an Activision thing. Let me explain. So back during my time of playing Modern Warfare 2019 and Black Ops Cold War, I noticed a very interesting trend among the Battle Pass. So every time a Battle Pass was released, in Call of Duty, there was two weapons in those Battle Passes, and at least one of them would be wildly overpowered. Meaning that you would basically have a artificial fear of missing out, and you'd basically be pressured into buying your way to that weapon in the Battle Pass. So you spend money to unlock the gun in the Battle Pass, and then you have the wildly overpowered gun that everyone's using because it's wildly overpowered. Then, once Activision gets enough profit, they just nerf it to oblivion. And honestly, Kiriko gives me the exact same vibes. She is wildly overpowered. Way, way stronger than she should actually be. Like, seriously, what the hell were they thinking when they designed her? She is so broken. And again, I can bet you that as soon as the desired profit is made from people being pressured into buying Kiriko, they will actually just nerf her into absolute oblivion. And honestly, I hope they do. If anything, just rework her, because at her foundation as she is right now, with all the stuff she has, she is not a support hero. She's a damage hero wearing a support hero's goddamn clothing. It is disgusting. Right. Obviously too, there's been changes to competitive in particular. Don't really care about it, but apparently it is better, which is nice to know. Obviously, there's also the question to say, what about, you know, like Sojourn and Junker Queen? Junker Queen right now is okay. She's not strong, but she's not exactly weak either. Sojourn sits in about the same boat. Not strong, not weak. So, that is basically what I have to say about Overwatch. Obviously, I don't like the new requirements of having to enlist a phone number to Blizzard. I don't like that at all, because you know why they do that, right? They do that so they can fork over your phone number to China. Because remember, Blizzard has ties with China and in turn the Chinese government, which absolutely sucks. And you know why they have ties with the Chinese government? Money. It's terrible, honestly. But yeah, so outside of like SMS Protect, which is just a bag of worms in its own right, so horrible, so disgusting. Like, all the articles I've read about, you know, players feeling like they've been paw shamed because they don't have a phone to connect to their accounts, it's completely justifiable. Like, phones, even the cheap ones, are not cheap in these times. But god, the audacity of Blizzard, honestly. But yeah, the Defense Matrix, like, anti-cheat system seems like a good concept, but in execution, it seems pretty bloody flawed. Especially considering, too, you have to spend money on buying a phone or buying a post-payment plan to play Overwatch 2, which is not cool. And then, of course, there's the issues of balance. Balance right now with heroes is way off charts. Like, I've been up on a clip here, And as you can see, it's just me and like my team is getting absolutely just instantly deleted because, like, what the hell I just do against that? You just can't win against it. It's too strong. And obviously, again, I'm not going to say that this review is entirely negative. I do like the changes to the visuals, the sound design, and the tank changes. I like the fact that I can now play a tank and not suffer. However, I do not like the Battle Pass. I don't like the SMS Protect crap. I don't like Kiriko, at least how she's balanced right now. I don't like Arisa either. I think that they probably should have put Overwatch 2 back in the oven for probably 5 more months, because some things here just don't feel properly tested, and it sucks because obviously now that the game's live, you can't just take that back. And sure, Blizzard is trying to unleash balance patches every 9 weeks, but 9 weeks might be the time between this game living and the game dying. Seriously, it's that bad. So, overall, before my voice starts to go, I would say that the visuals get a 8 out of 10. I think they're great. Audio design gets a 8 out of 10. They're really solid, pretty satisfying. I like them a lot. Gameplay though, ooh. Right now, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. It can be fun, but as soon as people start pulling out the overpowered broken heroes, all the fun just vanishes instantly. Just gone in a flash. So, I think, again, the balance just needs a lot of ironing out because it sucks right now so bad. Again, tanks are great, but there's just a few heroes that are just completely way off charts. So in total, I would give Overwatch 2 a 7 out of 10. I think it's an okay game, but it definitely has its flaws. And Activision Blizzard are a garbage company. Do not buy anything from them. Which is why I'm glad that Overwatch 2 came out for free, because I don't have to support them at all, which is fantastic. And honestly, I'd rather keep it that way. And just like that, that battle concluded for my Overwatch 2 review. Now, to play or not to play it? Honestly, I would say play it at your own discretion. If you're a new player, like you've not played Overwatch 1 at all, you're in for a rough ride, because you have to unlock all the new heroes and stuff from scratch. Apparently it's quick, like you get a hero like once every 3 matches, but this game relies so much on counter picking, and this whole hero unlock business, I don't know about it. I think it's a bit strange. But again, that's my personal opinion. So again, thank you so much for watching this review, and thank you for all of your support you've been giving me over my hiatus. I am officially back, and we'll be back into action for more stuff. So yeah, we'll see you next time for something else, I guess. Until then, I have been Kafari Iremia, signing off.